Welcome to the BMF stream. Due to some technical difficulties, we've only just been able to spectate the match here on Lofton Islands, the new map. All is well, all is well. I'm here with A Wild Time. Welcome to the stream, man.
Hello, no, it's glad to be here, back casting finally again. Battlefield, love it.
Great to see. So, hopping in now. MMI versus MTHR should be quite an even game. As I said before, with the release of the new maps, essentially all maps but House and Dan can be played now in competitive for practicality reasons. So, Lofton Islands is probably the first, I think, competitive match ever streamed on this map. So that's a put that in your calendars, guys. It's a momentous day.
Yeah, and it's turning out to be an absolutely amazing game so far. As soon as we just jumped in, we'll give you a brief recap. Both teams very even up until the 115 point mark, trading really nicely on the kill feeds, blue red, and now we're starting to see MTHR taking the upper hand, leading 112 to 58, and it's going quite nicely. But obviously MMI aren't out this fight just yet. They're pushing back, and they're being quite aggressive right now.
Yeah, exactly. Currently, we've got MMI, I think, are losing the B flag here, or it will be soon. Yeah, the trade's coming through on B flag. So it looks like it's going to be a CB hold for MTHR once they hop on the flag. But I think they're a bit reluctant to at this stage. I'm not sure. I don't think they know that they're kind of clear. They're hopping on now. But yeah, like you said, it's been a very even game, I think, until very recently. And this is one of the things with this map. I guess I would love to say I know more about this map, but obviously it's just been added to the rotation. But it looks like a spawn trap is very possible if you do get, the line as MTHR have got now. But a lot of kills coming through for MMI now.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's there's no defined channels on the map, and the spawns are pretty much visible from the A and the C flags here. But the A side does look like it's the worst one to be spawn trapped on, but both teams doing a very good job of spreading their players out and working in small groups of 3 from what I've been seeing here. And I think that's the reason why we're seeing MTHR reluctant to push onto the flags, because they're getting 2 of the kills on there and they're waiting for that third guy to show himself. And luckily for MMI, that helped them hold that B flag for longer than they really should have done. And they pushed out again. They switched the sides now. They're holding the C and the B flag, losing it now, unfortunately. But with 2 people on, they should be holding that quite nicely. Still 40 points behind there.
Exactly. Yeah, I love how I'm not sure which team did it in the first place, but the B building usually is a fortress on this map. It's been completely leveled. There's barely anything standing on that flag now. It's wide open. So that's, I guess, probably why not many people are on it right now, because it's pretty much a death zone unless a head glitch is used somewhere. But I mean, a lot of action on this A flag. I wasn't really expecting this. I was kind of thinking min map control would be an important thing on this map, but I guess right now A flag is really where it's happening. There's a lot of trades coming in. I think MMI have finally got control of that now. But
yeah, and we could start to see the early start of a small triple cap here. We need MMI to really focus and get back on their flags, because these are the points that matter. And even now that they've lost C, they've managed to regain a 40-point lead and take it down to just 20. So it's really important, those triple caps, and MTHR have got to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Definitely, these triple caps can really swing a game one way or the other. MTHR really, hanging on to that. I think about a 20-point lead, maybe 15-point lead right now. But it's getting close. It's getting a bit sticky for them. This 2 cap is, I think, going to be a trip cap now as MMI start taking C. I think they're going to get on B flag to stop it just in time. But still, 2 cap is going to bleed the tickets out. It's a very close game.
And that's the issue. Even while you're decapping, you're not gaining any tickets on that board. Ooh. And you're in the worst position whatsoever. But Red Doctor doing some work right there, holding that B flag. He's being backed up by 2 of his mates, Rox and Villa here. And they're doing a good job. And they're retaining that double cap. And if they can hold this to the end of the game, they should be in for the win.
Ooh. On board there with Red Doctor, but he gets taken out. The fight going down on B flag here. This is a pretty important fight, but I think it's all over now. As I say that,
yeah, absolute massive push. There was at least a 6-man push onto B with 2 people, Red Doctor and Villa, holding that B flag. No way they were going to hold. Would have taken an absolute miracle to do that. But they seem to have rotated nicely, immediately abandoning the B flag, going to cap A, splitting MMI's team apart, and now they're just everywhere in the map, and they're already decapping Bravo.
I'm sure everyone watching this will may be aware to some extent, but usually squad conquest maps are quite, linear. You usually be able to hold some lanes, hold some lines of sight. At the moment, this map seems to be absolute chaos, absolute bedlam on the flags, going both ways here, and it's extremely close now. 24 tickets for MMI versus 31 for MTHR. Looking at the scoreboard, see who's going off for both teams. You see SJT P4, 17 kills for MMI. You see Kirox and Rido Carver going off for MTHR right now. So maybe slaying edge to MTHR, but they've got they've got a 4-point ticket lead here. Very close.
How they managed to lose a 40 to 50 point ticket lead, and now it's been reduced to near nothing. It's absolutely incredible. MMI playing till the last man, playing to the whistle, and just keeping this game alive right now. They're about to get the double cap on A and C. MTHR falling apart a bit, getting dragged out.
We've been reduced to a 1v1 on B flag, but Jihu stays alive for spawns, and both players do actually. So it's a 3-on-2 here, MMI on this very crucial B flag here. This has been the swing one now in the latter stage of the game anyway. It's been a lot of trades going down. Either way.
The thing is, when you're that close and Bravo is your only flag, and you know it's a 1v1, don't wait for the spawn. It's do or nothing, because the moment they get the spawns on, they're going to be harder to push off, and it's going to be near impossible for you to push onto the B flag with the head glitches there.
Yeah.
And I think
that's it.
That's a blue team win.
17.
MMI 17-0. Yeah.
That was a fantastic game to start off with. Yeah, definitely. Let me just adapt the scoreboard here, folks.
As you see, top squad there. Nice. Was it
Jihu?
Jihu was a last minute sub in for MMI.
Yeah.
I think they're lucky to have him on the team at this point. But we're moving into Providence.
Definitely. I was going to mention that actually. Yeah, as was just mentioned, essentially, we were told that's going to be the 9th player, the substitute if needed, and he's came on and shown why he should have been playing in the main lineup there. So great game for him though. I'm assuming they're going to play Provence, just by the way they were happy to play new maps. But we'll get stuck in here, see what happens. Predictions?
Yeah, and
maybe.
I mean, it's a very linear map, and as we saw, MMI seem to excel when it's a lot more open. And they did have the top slaying squad there, so I think they're gonna work better on this. But with a lot of buildings and a lot of little alleyways and cover, it's going to be really up to teams holding line of sight and making sure that they don't get squad wiped, so they can get those spawns.
Definitely.
I think that's going to be key.
Definitely. This is definitely not a map which your long-range players are going to do particularly well on. It's definitely very short-range, SMG heavy game here. So the highest laying team probably will come out in front. I'm going to hop on here with Rido Carvo to start the match off here. Coming out with the Thompson, as expected. 50 rounds of pure madness now after the patch. Round 2, here we go.
It's an absolute beast after the patch. I mean, I've been saying it a lot recently, and we were just discussing it before the stream kicked off. They've removed the horizontal recoil attachment, but then they've decreased the horizontal recoil in this base stats, and now it's an absolute laser beam. But as both teams kick off, fairly even trades on both sides. Looking at the scoreboard here, Red Doctor doing some work, same with Fever and his man Rassi. But it looks like MTHR have got the better of MMI pushing into this.
100%. They're actually already on A. I mean, he's been pressured off now, but that pressure on your home flag is probably one of the more controversial aspects of this map, is how easy it is to basically get control of A flag. B flag's a different story. That's definitely a lot of back and forth, but MTHR trying to make him pay here, but I think they're going to get control of B flag here as the trades go down. A lot of submachine guns, Stumgavers, Tommy guns, mainly just Tommy guns, as you mentioned.
Yeah, the whole map is just dominated by them when you've got 50 rounds of just pure accuracy going down range on a gun that's already devastating in close range as well. I think it is the meta at the moment with the Tommy gun.
Definitely. Exactly, these high fire rate guns which aren't, attached with the bipod. You're looking at the SF for the assault class, you're looking at the Sturmgewehr, looking at the Thompson, looking at the Suomi. These are definitely the meta guns right now, and for a map like this, they're going to wreak absolute havoc.
I know, and we start to see MMI pushing MTHR off of the B flag, and they're already pushing their agenda on A with Mammoth, who has been hiding in that church for quite some time now, just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. One person's coming in, smoke's gone out, but unfortunately, yeah, MTHR just can't uproot him. It's just being a massive pain in the arse right now.
A great way to use as a barometer for how the game is going is the kill feed. And as we saw a second ago, MMI absolutely dominating the kill feed. MTHR coming straight back again now, but the kills really were going in favour of MMI there, mainly down to these the submachine gun presence on B flag. I think they'll be able to hold CB for a while, but they're starting to, I think, be heavily contested now.
Yeah, so it's turning out to be quite an event on Bravo right here. Both teams committing a lot of players. We're seeing a lot of double and triple kills here. Pojan managing to get the double on the B flag, holding it, but MTHR pushing on and getting those players off and securing it for themselves. So much like the beginning of the game here, we're starting to see really good results from both teams, evenly matched as we go in to almost the quarter way into the round.
Exactly, yeah. It looks like most of the gunfights are going to go down on B, C, road area now. But it's interesting with these new maps, what are the tactics, what are the strategies that you would expect to see? A lot of the time when new maps come out, it's just, match the presence of the other team. How many people are they putting or, attributing to one flag? And you've got to just match that. You've got to, have the same amount of people there to gun them down. Currently, it seems pretty even. You see 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s going down across the map.
Yeah, and that's it. Both teams seem to be allocating players in the right places, and it's just coming down to those key gunfights and positioning in those areas. Red Doctor on his own against an almost 5-man push here. Two big players competing here, Pojan and Red Doctor. Red Doctor gets the better of him, just a better positioning really, and he seems to have held them off from pushing towards Bravo, but C being capped here, it is going to give MMI a good chance to maybe push back onto the Alpha flag.
Definitely, you see a lot of gunfights going on around B flag here. I mean, it's really, I think a lot of these games come down to just sheer gun power at times. Obviously tactics are important, but when a player can get you out of a tight spot like that, and I think you might look at someone like Pogan for MMI that's willing to or able to get 2 pieces, get 3 pieces, get the kills when you need them. And I think on this sort of map, you can sort of, really see who the most, who the best slayers are on both teams.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I think what a lot of teams tend to forget is, even if you're a weak team set in terms of the gunplay and just winning your engagements, these maps are essentially, for the most part, just big domination maps. And the way you beat high skill level teams, just beat them out the rotation, and that's what we saw in the last round with MMI. They just managed. Oh, what happened there? Come on, give us a go around.
on B flag there was a shooting bodies moment. So some crazy disrespect going on down the map. This is a heated contest. It's very close. 109-100 here in favour of MTHR. They do look like they've got a lot of control here though on B on A, and I think if we're going to see some resemblance of a line here, probably the first time in the match where you can see a clear distinctive line here, but the kills are just going back and forth, really are.
And we've got Villa, Red Doctor, and 2 or 3 other of the MTHR players pushing onto Charlie, making it a nice even trade with the A flag. They're going to keep their lead of 20 to 19 points going here. Hold on, but it looks like they managed to be pushed off Charlie. Could this be MMI's chance to get back in the game and reduce that lead of MTHR. And I think it is. All down to Mamot. No, and unfortunately he goes down. The 2v3 was just too much for him. GU's coming in with Podium, 2 big slayers for MMI, and they're looking to clean up A for the cap.
The only guy on the map with 10 plus kills is Kirox for MTHR with 14 and 4. He's having a flyer of a game so far. He performed well also in game 1, so a name I'm not familiar with, but he's really showing up this game, that's for sure. AB hold again, it looks like, coming out of MTHR, and I think we might be seeing some resemblance of, you know, a deciding sort of line here. I say that, I'm completely wrong. MMI seem to be taking control of A, if they, you know, get enough bodies on it right now.
And speaking of players that we haven't heard of before, obviously Battlefield 5 is not in the best state when it comes to its competitive gameplay right now. And we're starting to see a lot of the older players moving on to different games, and a lot of these newer players pushing up through the ranks and showing us what they're made of, especially at this stage in BMF towards the end of the group stages here. I'm looking forward to seeing more from Rox when it gets into it, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. The performances in the group stage. You know, this is the kind of time where, yes, it's a group stage match, but you know, this is where you get, you know, chemistry with your teammates. This is when you get, you know, practice in, especially on these newer maps. You know, pretty new to everyone. If you can get, you know, practice against a tough team on these maps, that can really come in handy later on. You can see these players, you know, win these maps for your team.
Oh, 100% here, and Rox is just killing it right now. In with the 2-piece on the kill feed. And he's really holding down that B flag for his team, being the absolute anchor they need him to be, while the rest of the guys try and push, and they're still holding this lead. Almost 40 tickets now between them and MMI, and it's just been a cracking game for MTHR, really has.
Yeah, we saw them come out, you know, with an early lead on Lofton Islands, and now they seem to have, you know, started to assert their dominance. I think we might be looking at an MTHR win here. Then again, you know, first game did prove that, you know, it's not all over yet, but I think definitely the slaying is starting to go in favour of MTHR here.
Exactly, and one thing I've noticed they've been doing really well is trading between the A and the C flag. The moment they get pushed off of A, they've already got 3 or 4 guys onto Charlie ready to push and get the cap, and it's that even trading of the caps that I think has won in the game this time. They just couldn't find that rhythm in the last round. They just couldn't find that nice pendulum motion moving forward. So they definitely seem to prefer the more linear map, I think, by the looks of it. Definitely suits them a lot more, especially with the high slay players like Rox that we've seen that just love to take on those 1v2s like it's breakfast. But yeah, I also think it's with the Thompson as well, and we're starting to see things like the SG44 coming out late in the late stage of the game here. Are really making a difference in terms of the gunplay that we're seeing here. I'm surprised no LMGs are being used.
Yeah, this.
But I think the point.
No,
points. It's just crazy.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, piggybacking off of that, like, you know, I think the emergence of, you know, maybe slower paced, you know, AR guns now in the late stages of this game is kind of an evolution of the map, essentially. You know, people come out with Thompsons, they think it's going to be extremely close. Maybe in a competitive sense, it's going to be slower than it is on public matches. It's going to, you know, slow down a little bit. So I think some of these, you know, STG a bit longer range gun can, you know, really change the dynamics on the map. You can really hold down sight lines, you know, in the small corners that you're playing on.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like you said, as the game evolves, we're starting to see a lot more structure to the map. Teams have spent the first sort of quarter of the game testing themselves, testing what the other team is going to be like on the map, and then just adapting to it. Especially with sort of the long roads and stuff, we're starting to see the SG44 coming in for those longer pushes to try and outgun the Thompson at range. Oh, to be honest, I find it hard to outgun a literal laser Death Star beam coming towards you, but what can you do?
Yeah, exactly. I guess you might have to scope in with a 3x scope beforehand, and hopefully he doesn't spot you in time. You see Kirox getting another gunfight there, loses that one unfortunately to Abel Sir 87. on MTHR, and I think unfortunately the close game maybe we were watching at the start here has somewhat turned into an MTHR comfortable victory, not dominant by any stretch, but definitely a comfortable for them as we, you know, get into. Oh, I'm slanted. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and again, just coming off of that, I think it comes down to the style of the maps. More linear maps so far have seemed to favour MTHR than the more sort of circular triangle domination maps.
Yeah.
The MMI really dominated on with those triple caps. Once they got into their mojo, they were just flying, absolutely flying.
Definitely, I'm expecting MTHR to even this series up right now, 1-1. But it's not over. MMI can do it, but they do need to get some kills right now and get some, you know, extend this pressure. They have got the 2 cap right now, but it's this B push that's going to really be the difference here, I think.
Yeah, and just the way the Battlefield ticket system works, if you've got less than half of your opponent's tickets, you have to go for the triple, otherwise you do not stand a chance, especially at this stage in the game when the final nails are about to head into the coffin for MMI here.
Definitely, it's this life advantage as well. It's, you know, it's all well and good getting the flag, but if you know, lose 4 or 5 players, you know, that death will come off the scoreboard as well. So, you know, it's not even just about the trip cap. It's like, you know, not even conceding a kill as well, which is extremely hard to do. And we see MTHR take down MMI on Provence in map 2.
100%, and a big massive lead there, 51-0, completely different to what we saw in the first game. And yeah, we saw some big slays from the likes of Rocks, absolutely cracking game, 23-7. Definitely a pretty good anchor from what I saw, holding down that B flag against 1v2s, 2v2s, and the occasional 3v2 was there when he had someone to help with the trades. And I think Arras is going to be a good map for to see whether the style of gameplay really sets to what we predicted earlier on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's funny you pick up on the fact he's, you know, seems to be an anchor, seems to be holding all these angles, and then we get onto a map which you need to hold the angles on. You need to be an anchor for your team. I think he's probably going to be very well suited for this map, as you say. I'm excited to cast these maps in particular because they're the ones that have, I think, personally I've seen, you know, evolve from the start of the game where, you know, we even had, you know, DMRs allowed, and now we see, at least in my opinion, a completely different style of play where, you know, the meta has changed so much over such a small amount of time. So it's going to be very interesting to watch, I think, guys. As we said, I'm kind of predicting it's going to be very close and a little bit, I think, slower than these first 2 maps have been, judging by the, you know, the scope of the map. I'm not sure what you think about that one.
See, I just don't know what's going to happen because I've seen this map played a few times, and it seems to me that teams just fall apart really quickly when it comes to pushing towards middle flags. I think the last game that I saw on the BMF channel, we saw teams dynamiting up the building towards the back spawn there. It didn't really work out for them, and I think the centre flag is really going to be key pushing into this game. It really is.
Definitely. I want to see where people go here off the start. You know, okay, so MTHR's tanks is probably the first thing you maybe look at is you know, the tank presence. Both of them going for that resupply station in fields, and I think both going 5 or maybe even 6 to B here. So as you said, B flag. Both teams recognise that it's a pivotal position. But having said that, maybe MTHR have the advantage on the tank, so just going to swoop down here on B flag as the gunfight goes down at the start of the round here.
Yeah, definitely MTHR landing more shots than Zatan in the blue tank there, and he's starting to get pushed off. Tank goes down, and yeah, 15 manages to secure a really big early victory for MTHR, and it's going to allow them to hold down that A flag pretty nicely. But with every victory there comes a major loss, and unfortunately MMI committed a fair bit to the B flag and they've secured it. So very interesting start to the game here, wins and losses on both sides by the looks of it.
Definitely, maybe a bittersweet victory for MMI there. You know, they get B flag, but their tank goes down, so that tank pressure on that, you know, AC Road is lost now, and you see MTHR basically have the confidence in themselves to move up now and to basically get control of B flag and resupply station on the tank side. And this is where you can start pushing it. This is where you can start forming a line. Good shots from Villain. I'll probably say this wrong, but I'm going to call him Villain. Let's just do that. But no, great start from MTHR. Even though they lost the flag originally, you know, they got the tank down. They've got it back. They've got position now. Oof.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a bit of a comeback now from MMI pushing onto Bravo. They managed to get players right in the middle of the flag as MTHR were pushing off to close the distance between Alpha here. And MMI really holding a decent lead at the moment. 13 tickets. It might not seem like much, but at the beginning of the game, it's everything, really.
Definitely. I think someone from MMI stayed alive in the fields on MTHR's spawn side there, and that was, you know, able to get a whole squad in there. I think it really surprised MTHR. I don't think they kept track of that player there. It's easy to happen, but maybe that was a crucial mistake because now they've definitely lost B flag.
Yeah, 100%. And it's weird. This map to me always seems to be. Yeah, it always seems to be like a bit of a. It looks like it's going to be one of those open circular maps, but it just ends up going very, very linear. A lot of teams with the tanks just holding down between A and Charlie, and then both teams just finding out over Bravo. But it really looks like MTHR have decided to capitalise on the early victory at the beginning of the game with the tank and have pushed into Alpha, causing some real hassles, pulling what we're talking 4 to 5 players off of the Bravo flag.
Yeah.
And it's allowing those big players like Red Doctor, Villain and Rox to really absolutely nail these guys on Bravo.
Definitely. It looks like MTHR, you know, the kill feed fully red there for them on B flag. Going to go over to A flag here now. Very interesting. I think both teams have done very well of staying alive when they need to, even if, you know, they're losing the you know, the kills and the trades. You see these guys just staying alive in bushes that, you know, they find a comfy bush to sit in, you know, stay alive for their squad mates, and that's happened quite a few times now. MTHR really did well to recover from their sort of early mistakes there on B flag.
No, 100%, and I think we're going to start seeing the tickets slowly coming back. But MTHR have a slight problem. We've got Fever and Zatan just holding down the spawns on the outside of A here. And with MTHR trying to push onto Charlie, I think they're going to get a bit overzealous and end up losing Bravo here. But with Rox on the flag, I think they can be sure that Bravo is going to be pretty secure for a long while.
Definitely, you'd like to. This is definitely the time for him to get a 2-piece or maybe even a 3-piece here. He's got 2 big tree area here, maybe pathway side on the tractor, but he goes down there on B flag, and it looks like MMI are going to make a push. But again, staying alive. I think Abasair there was the guy to stay alive. Gets spawned on. The reinforcements come in, and it looks like a 3-on-2 should go in the way of MTHR here on B flag. Then again,
yeah, and I think MMI have decided that the best course of action here is they keep getting pushed off of the B flag. There's no point wasting tickets and manpower on it, and they've just gone for the Alpha Charlie push. Deny them those bottom spawns and just hold them there. And to be honest, the tank's not going to push in close. It has to go for those long range shots. And I mean, come on, let's be honest with each other. The tanks in Battlefield 5 aren't really the best for taking out infantry as the rest of the series. And it's just getting hammered at the moment. It's having to fall back, but Zatan coming around behind the tank, in with the Panzerfaust in the rear, and just takes a shell to the face. So that 6-pounder of solid shot straight through the chest. Not much you can do there. I don't think that he's going to be coming back from that one.
Juan, the repairman for MTHR, is he's getting pushed. He's a bit scared. He doesn't know where they are. But I think year 15 for MTHR on the tank is really making MMI pay here. I think the mistake they made was, you see Zatan going in by himself, you see Rasa going in by himself. You know, they've all got the same objective, but the timing I think was a little bit off there. Having said that, Pogan, he's made him very weak now with the Panzerfaust. He gets the repair guy. Oh, Pogan goes down as well. So yeah, you know, does really well there. He's going to heal up now.
Yeah, and I think they made Personally, I think they made a huge mistake. They've committed 3 players to taking out a tank, which wasn't really doing anything to begin with. It was annoying them a bit, to say the least. Now he's just making me look bad here by just nailing 2 guys straight off the bat on the A flag here. I mean, come on, give me a break.
The Caster's curse comes in. Staying up there does translate into impact there. So the tank stays alive due to a flawed MMI timing push on the tank. He then gets 2 kills on A. Having said that, though, you are right in the sense that he hasn't claimed the flag, and he is going to be pressured here by Zatan, who's now turned up for the second time in the game, but this time with 2 repair guys, 2 of them. So if he goes down here, I don't know what to say, honestly. He should get the kill here.
Oh, 100%. But I think that committing almost 4 guys here, a tank, 2 repairmen, and Pojan's trying to hold the flag and not get destroyed. But we've got Villain here about to completely ruin this man's career, coming round the back.
Oh no.
It's a bold move, Codden. Let's see if it plays off.
Oh, he's been spotted. Oh. Okay, he doesn't get anyone. But he makes the tank weak enough, I think, for the tank to get him. 2 repairmen go down, and the tank. Oh no, one did.
That was it.
Wow.
It was a bold move. I think we're going to start seeing a similar story here for but it doesn't look like MMI capitalising on the opportunity they had right behind the tank, and it's up for Rassi to come in, and in the cover of smoke, I think he's going to try and get a lucky shot on.
I think so. I think MTHR's tank is a little bit surrounded now. I mean, he's retreating to his spawn side, but they haven't got control of it, so he's a little bit surrounded here. He could go down, but he's off the scene.
Yeah, he's playing such an important role right now. It's not about the kills for him and the rest of his team. It's about the amount of people he's dragging away from the key flags and trying to allow his team some movement, some breathing room to actually capture flags. Unfortunately for him, MMI just seems to be doing a cracking job holding these A and Charlie flags. They've nearly got that 50-point lead, and it's really going to come down to the triple caps from MTHR that are going to bring this game back.
100%. I think Yes having a fantastic game. Let me just check the scoreboard. He's 16-0, but it hasn't really translated into flag caps at times. We saw when he won the gunfight, the push on the fields. They weren't able to cap A. He's capping C now. Finally translates into a flag cap. But I mean, just look at the score. He's had a fantastic game, yet they are down by about double tickets here. Maybe some questions asked of the infantry in support of him there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to the fact that MMI just have an incredibly good defensive team on at the moment, and even though they're getting pushed off of flags, they're drawing and just pulling apart MTHR's squads here, and it's just causing issues. We're starting to see players like Red Doctor and Rox not getting any breathing room to do what they love best: sit down, hold that flag, and really just dominate in the control position there, and they're just not getting the opportunity to.
Ooh. Great shots from Villain there onto Fever, and he gets a 2-piece on A flag there, and he's got his mates there as well, so he's having a great time capping A for MTHR.
It's good, but they need to react quickly here. Although they've captured the A flag, MMI are already pushing onto Charlie, and it's just 2 guys. We've got Rudicavo here, and we've got Juan trying to hold it. Pojan goes down. Jihu just needs to really stay alive, allow his squad to spawn on him. But he's just running straight to C here, laying down in the fields of wheat. Right old Theresa May here, and just waiting for these teammates to spawn on him. And here they go, running straight for that Charlie flag. It's really important that for MMI that they deny MTHR the chance for these double caps here, because it's going to be really, really close towards the end of the game if they don't get the opportunity to. And Pojan sneaks through around the back here. Jihu has kind of given his team away.
I love it. I love it. Jihu sneaking in the fields of wheat. As a politics student, I really appreciate the Theresa May reference. That's brilliant stuff. He lies down on his belly. Pogan spawns on him. He extends to A. He gets to 2-piece in mid, and all of a sudden, guess who's on C flag? MMI. hilariously,
But they're making a really good trade here, you see. Although they're losing the B flag here, they've managed to loop around, grab Charlie, and it looks like the rest of the team is trying to consolidate on A and really stop this double cap from happening, 'cause it's really nailing down the tickets here. As you can see, it was almost a 50-point lead, and it's been taken down to 25 ticket point lead now. MMI really losing grip of the game here, especially with getting pretty aggressive at the moment, but Pojan and Jihu really punishing him, taking him down. I think he should just really stick to those long range engagements where he's got a bit more room to move.
oh wow, so very, huge tank takedown there from Pogan. But again, I think so Yez alive actually. So his tank goes down, he gets out of the tank. So it's actually still a 2v1 on C. Again, for some reason the tank play has been, on one hand, extremely important, dragging people away from flags. On the other hand, it hasn't even translated into flag caps most of the time. MTHR's tanks go down, but they hold on to C. It's very slightly maybe irregular happenings here on Arras today, from what you might expect, but who knows?
Oh, 100%. And we're starting to see a double cap come back again for the red team here, and they're starting to form that nice line between B and Charlie. Moving in to take out the tank here.
Sneaky. Oh.
He's become the one thing he sought to destroy. He's trying to get round, just trying to push Zatan away from that Charlie flag by the looks of it. Just being a big nuisance. Yeah.
That's actually maybe I'm not sure if it's smart or stupid what just happened there, but essentially Zatan destroys his own resupply station there. I think because was behind it, and I guess Andy takes down his repairman. He should be dead now though, but he does take down the resupply station. So someone will have to build that up for Zatan if he wants to use that later on. Let's keep that in mind as the map progresses.
100%. Now, just pay key attention to the fact that one tanker, probably the most useless infantry class around, managed to push the blue team tank away from the repair station, pushing onto Charlie, halfway across the map, destroy his own repair station, and then allow the rest of his team to regain control of that Bravo flag and try and make an attempt on A here. One guy, and it's those key plays that we're seeing. And he's spawned back in his tank. Zatan getting overly aggressive here. He's pinned between the red tanker, two lots of infantry, nowhere to go. And there we go, we have it. Immediate revenge there.
Yeah.
On the Valentine.
I'm imagining whenever gets a kill, he just shouts, "Yeah!" every single time. That's I guess so. That's what I would do if I had his name. But yeah, incredible how that instantly pays off from destroy the tank resupply station. He can't repair himself, and then instantly spawns up in a tank and kills him. So it really does pay dividends in the end.
Exactly, and now he's taking his power position, holding that Charlie flag, just absolutely punishing the blue team here as they're trying to push off, and he's filling that stopgap between the A and the Charlie flag. But he seems to have missed Rassi. Luckily, Rox from across the map has his back. And it's crazy how they turn this around. MMI for me were sure going to win. They were holding those 25 to 50 ticket leads throughout the whole game, but I think some last minute rallying here, holding that B and Charlie flag, and some really awesome plays with the tanks down the bottom here have led to what's going to be a really good victory here.
Definitely, it's been extremely close, been fun to watch, but I think the tank battle, eventually comes out on top. 23-1, you won't see much better tank scorelines than that on Scar Conquest.
Absolutely amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more.
100%. Let's update the score now. So 2-1 to MTHR after that victory on RS.
Yeah, but even Rivicardo 23-11, just really good scores from MMI, just not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some huge infantry performances on the side of MMI, but having said that, I guess I guarantee the team talk in the party chat now on PSN will definitely be, guys, we needed to take the tank down. He was he was going off. Was the most valuable player on that map. Maybe in the future they need to coordinate tank attacks a little bit better. But moving on to Rotterdam here, probably you either love or you hate it. just like Marmite. It's depends which spawn you get probably. You know, if
Yeah, it's a good thing I like Marmite because Rotterdam is actually a really good map, very heavily infantry focused. And it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here.
Definitely.
We've got Pojin in the chat saying the party went down.
Oh.
So I think they had a bit of a communication nightmare on their end. Hopefully they got it back up for this round.
Yeah, you hate to see that sort of stuff go on and that alter the game, but unfortunately, the show goes on. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, MTHR will have the favourable spawns here on A flag. So keep that in mind as we go ahead. You know, the sort of downhill, easier to form a line sort of format you get on this map on A spawn. See if they can take advantage of that. On the swing side, if MMI, you know, win this map on the weaker spawn, then that's a massive, you know, momentum boost going forward for the rest of this game. Just want to see the strategy of the spawn here. A lot of variants. It's probably the most variated strategy map that we play. Let's see what MMI are going to do here. Looks like they're going to go 6 to tram side, which is, you know, definitely one of the more common tactics. But they also have 2 guys smoking off Riverside here. Maybe as a decoy. A lot of the time, if you heavily smoke a side, you know, teams will assume you're going there. Let's see how many guys on B flag, you know, avert their attention here to this other side. But I don't think they've been fooled by it by any stretch. I think someone's probably got an eye on the push here from trams. So we'll hop on with Borgia here. If we can get close.
We're starting to see the red team is starting to batter the walls of MTHR's defence. And they're holding strong. Very very clean blue streak here in the scoreboard. With Rox and Borgia and just holding the front line. And I think this is where MTHR are really got to show their strengths. Those linear maps where they can actually hold some sort of sense of direction in the engagements is where they're going to shine.
Definitely. Having said that, this is what you hate to see. If you're on MTHR right now, you are a little bit annoyed with the fact that they've basically, you know, read the attack properly on tram side, but somehow MMI got through, and you see Rasa here on A flag for MMI here. If they can be this annoying and they can hold AC for a while, this is probably one of the more common tactics you see nowadays, which is, you know, hold, you know, flank through to A. If you can hold that, that is great, because that means the pressure goes off B from MTHR, and you can maybe retake that later on. Huge plays there.
100% agree. And MMI just causing all kinds of grief, managing to cap the A flag, pinning MTHR in B, and it looks like they might be able to catch B as well with Pojin on the flag, ripping the 1v2 like it meant nothing to him. And there's absolute big plays here. He's going to pick up a third, tries to go for Rocks. Borgia's coming in, and I think he's going to try and avoid and get away. It's now like a 1v4. It all comes down to whether these engagements. 2 people spawning him. Big, massive plays by Pojin staying alive.
Oh, he's surrounded by grenades. He managed just to slip through. He's a slippery snake, this guy. Let's see how long we can stay on this B flag. The pressure is heavy, as you say. Good luck to him here.
And he's just holding. I'm surprised no one from Blue's seen him. He's an absolute ghost at this point. Just holding at the flag. Gets out behind Schwan, and now he's launching his attack. It's him and Rox. 2 of the biggest slayers on the team so far. It looks like Albert tried to get him in the back, and Pojin was having none of it. And it looks like Rox just got the better of him in the end. Absolute great play by both teams. Very crucial for MMI. That it's given them a bit of strength to get back in the game. But it looks like MTHR have got a long game ahead of them here. Being double capped, trapped in B. And Juan trying to push off P4 here, and it's not going too well.
Exactly, and this is why this this flank originally from MMI was so important. The fact that they could, you know, get basically wiped off the face of the map here from the slaying wise, but they've actually only just been, you know, starting to lose A flag. They, for the whole time they were down, they, you know, still had the flag, and they'd be able to mount a counterattack here from the random spawn. Let's see how the gunfights go down here. Like you said, you know, huge plays from MTHR, but they were 2 capped. the whole time, so they will be losing the tickets there.
And I think the way these two teams are playing, we cannot predict what's going to happen towards the end of the game.
No.
They've just been taking our predictions, bending us over and shoving them where they belong, and just showing us that good gameplay and sticking together is what's holding these teams together right now.
Definitely. I mean, I think I mentioned earlier how, you know, the newer maps are a bit more, you know, free-flowing, you know, triangular. You see a lot of home spawns being taken, and that maybe, you know, on the maps like Arras on Rotterdam, you might expect some more linear gameplay where it's a bit more, you know, former line-based. And then again, as you say, they just completely, you know, throw that away and essentially go for the home spawns. So if it works, it really does work, and whichever team has the upper hand is really taking advantage of this.
Dort müsst ihr vorsichtig sein.
Oh, 100%, and it looks like we're starting to see MTHR trying to push forward for that C flag, but they're just getting shut down. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment. It seems that Bravo flag is doing nothing for them, and I think they need to really just solidly commit to one of these flags and hope for the best.
Definitely, at one point they need to, you know, try and form a consistent line here. But we haven't seen that so far from either team, particularly maybe MMI with the AC holds as being pretty potent. Fever here, going to get overwhelmed on Riverside. He's going to get one with the Louis gun. Fantastic gun. He's got a one-on-one here with the Villain. See if he comes out on top. He does not. Villain got the high ground. The Tommy gun comes through again. No surprises there.
It looks like they're trying to make some gaze onto A here, but the players are pushed around the back, and now they're just getting slowly closed in by the likes of Poj and Jehu. Yeah, it goes down. Borgia's about to go down as well, by the sounds of it. And I thought I saw one of the blue players coming in to lend a hand, but it doesn't look like it. And again, they're stuck in the same place. It's nearly a 40-point ticket difference here as we enter the halfway point of the game.
I have to say, as someone who thinks they know rosters fairly well, I'd never heard of this Kirox guy, and yet he's performing very well at a very high level. 7-on-1 so far. Rudakava as well, 9-on-1 on MTHR. The slaying is in their favour, and yet once again the translation between the killing and the flags for some reason has been very slow, or at least, you know, disconnected to an extent. So really interesting to watch here how they're winning the slaying advantage and yet are actually down on tickets.
But they've managed to finally get themselves out of that rut. They've pushed themselves out of the B flag that they've been home to for pretty much the beginning of the game. They've captured Charlie, but it's already under assault by Fever and Zatan here. Red Doctor trying to do the Lord's work, managing to take out Fever. Zatan just holding secure, probably trying to hold those spawns. I think Red Doctor knows what's on, and can Zatan?
Nice shots.
Oh, no, he can't.
Nice shots.
Good plays here, yeah. Awesome plays. And now it's just defensive B, which has almost crumbled under the assault of the likes of Jihu, Pojin and Roly, with Mama pushing around the side to set up for Charlie there.
Exactly, and it's down to Juan here for MTHR to get on his belly, stretch himself out with the Lewis gun, but he's been taken out as well. So the presence on B from MTHR really, sorry, MMI really too much there for him to handle.
Yeah, and Rassi here trying to hold down the flag, suppresses a little bit, slows them down, but the thing is, MTHR have tried this 2 or 3 times now. They tried going around the back, coming through the side, and all that's happening is they're coming in the middle of 2 fronts, and they're just getting gunned down in the crossfire here. They really need to decide, pick a whole flank, and they need to come down from the bottom of the map, so they're fighting on one front and they're not getting shot in the back when they're trying to win key engagement.
Exactly, that's a fantastic point. With teams this closely matched in terms of skill, you know, that one front versus 2 front gameplay is, you know, can be the difference in an entire map, and who wins that.
100%.
Yeah. A little bit of spectator glitch there with the Tommy gun spraying. I assume he wasn't spraying a wall. Probably not. I doubt it. I think it would be.
Well, I've been trying to paint a pity picture for you. You never know. We're starting to see MTHR slowly push onto Bravo, but not quick enough. They managed to get a good kill with the Panzerfaust on Jehu here, and as Borgia pushes in, takes out Rolly, and looks like they're going to go cap this B flag, and it's going to be a big push from the red side. Pojen and Momo trying to stay here. Pojen switching to the sniper. I don't know what use he's going to be in this kind of engagement. It's absolutely ruined by the Tommy gun.
I was excited then to hop on with a sniper, but as you said, you know, in that sort of engagement range, not the best class choice maybe. A little bit questionable.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I could understand it if you were trying to hold down the A flag, possibly.
Yeah.
On the head glitch, I think we've got Rassi here with the Lewis gun, if I'm not mistaken. But Rivicardo managing to get good clean shots on, but not before Fever and P4 take him out. Yeah, Fever doing a really good job this game. He's been kind of in the background there for the first 2 or 3, but playing as one of these anchor pieces, holding down the home flags, he's done a really good job. But it's not good enough as MTHR decide to push on, grab B, and with only 25 tickets between the two teams, it's going to be a closer game than I originally thought, guys.
Definitely, I think you finally see the sort of, you know, I think your 3-piece there comes from Villain on C flag. So the killing now, having, you know, corrected myself from earlier, is now translating into a flag cap. And I think, hilariously, despite the... Okay, so basically the teams are now flipped. MTHR are on MMI's spawn, and they have B flags. So they're holding a 2 cap, but it is precarious. It is on these 2 fronts. They can be pushed from A side. And as you see, more importantly, right now on C spawn, MMI have allotted 4 players here. So that's the plan now, is to basically have AC. I think from the very start that's been the plan, is to hold AC and force MTHR onto B flag by themselves.
Yeah, now they've increased that number to 5. They've taken down Red Doctor, one of the key pieces here. It's Kirox is in the top of the building. It's kind of be up to him to try and hold it down here. Moment holding outside. Not too sure what he's doing. Maybe waiting for Pojen and Jehu to push in. Rox and Red Doctor are just holding now. Albuster pumping up the numbers at the bottom. Good kills by Pojen there with the SG-44.
Oh.
The Red Doctor coming in, just showing them what for with the 3-piece. Absolutely amazing play. That aggressiveness really, really paying off there.
Yeah, it's a very impressive 3-piece. I mean, he a little bit blessed with the early 2-piece, but the 3rd kill is not easy at all, and he picks that one up as well. He's on a bit of a roll, and you know, he's the sole protector. No, not the sole protector, but one of the few on C flag. Yeah, but you know.
Yeah, I think the original push started off as an actual push, became a feint, allowed the guys to spawn in by the canals, come around the side, kill those key players like Rox on the flag, and managed to push in. But I think the recovery was just pretty good.
Yeah.
MTH. Rox is just staying still, being calm, waiting for those spawns. Red Doctor, Villain spawning in. I think Rolly came into the wrong neighborhood here to come around the corner, firing line waiting for him. And we're starting to see Villain getting the revives, and I think C flag's going to be very short-lived for MMI. MTH pushing in to capture that fairly quick.
Ooh, Kirox here, 2-piece, actually a 3-piece, missed the first kill. I was caught off guard there. MTHR were able to catch the C random spawn, so MMI did position themselves very correctly in blocking off the initial C random you get, but they actually had the ocean spawn there. They spawned in the water, which I think caught MMI off guard enough for MTHR to take over, and the slaying is still in their favour here on C flag.
Yeah, and both teams evenly matched. We're down to 3 tickets between each team, and I think we're in the closing stages of the game here. Every flag and every kill is going to be massively important for every team here. You can't afford to just throw yourself in the hopes for a flag, otherwise you're going to lose too many tickets, and you've got to hold on to what you got. MTHR really doing a good job, especially considering that they were in a bit of a bad place towards the beginning of the game.
Definitely, I was expecting MMI to carry on this AC strategy they've been employing since the start, but I think now the tides are turning a little bit. I mean, MTHR definitely seem to be in control of C flag with only one MMI player spawning up, and the kills going in favour of MMI. So this is going to remain close. It's going to stay that way, I think, up until the end here, as they have.
I don't know how long I can keep this up for. My heart is absolutely coming out of my chest here. Both teams really committing everything now on that B flag. It is their linchpin. Yeah, and Juan really doing some good work, holding off 4 players on their own. But unfortunately, it's just too much for them. And MMI retake that B flag. And it looks like Jihu is putting some pressure on Red Doctor and Kirox. I think he's getting ready for a bit of an A push.
Aha. Yeah, so I was wondering
C
what.
push here, yeah.
Sorry, I was wondering what the response from MTHR would be after they, get wiped on B. 4 to A. Pojan is the only guy here. He gets 2. He's still alive. He gets 3. He gets 3. Well, Pojan just basically went huge MMI there. Insane plays.
Absolute MVP right there. That could have been game breaking. That really could have.
Yep.
If they could have lost that there, got trapped in B like they have been at the beginning of the game, that could have been the 30 tickets that would have lost it for them.
And I'm gonna
absolute good plays by Pojan.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I'm gonna stay with him right now. MTHR again. 4 guys spawn on home flag. They're thinking, okay, he's not gonna do it again. Surely not, but you never know. You never know.
With 5 tickets left in this game, I think we're ending the final stages here.
Yeah.
Nothing that MTHR can do, especially with the amount of kills that we're seeing Pojan rock up on the A flag. And I think that's going to be game here. Awesome work.
MMI coming out on top there. So it's going to be 2-2. This is definitely and actually a very competitive game here. Great to watch.
It's incredible. And we've still got a few more maps to play by the sounds of it.
Yes, exactly. 2 more maps to be played here. As far as I'm aware, it's possible that there's going to be a map draw here. But BMF is, I believe, completely ticket based as well. After, the obvious, did you win, did you lose? So.
But I mean, has there really been many ticket difference between the two teams? I think it's going to be close either way if it comes down to a draw.
Yeah.
It'll be very, very good.
Definitely, I'd be intrigued to find out who accumulated the most tickets. But as you said, I mean, there's barely been any big outstanding victories for either team across these 4 maps so far. Moving on to Hamada now, another core map with a lot of interesting strategies, counter strategies, and the like. Also, the second tank map that we'll see. Obviously, if you recall, first Aras we saw for MTHR really go off in the tank, 23-1. Do we see the same here?
Now, here's my advice for this team. If you get beat off the middle flag straight away, just assume that you're going to lose most of your engagements and just play the rotation. Abuse the living crap out of the rotation of the flags here, and you're guaranteed to stay on top. I mean, it's a very circle map. Whoever spawns in blue is going to have the obvious advantage pushing in the center flag.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be a case of who wins the rotation is going to win the game. That's what I'm thinking so far.
I totally agree. The team which, as you say, stretches the map out to the fullest extent and takes advantage of all these nooks and crannies which can be overlooked at times on this map, the flanking routes, is going to come out on top. And as you say, the importance of B flag really does come through as well. There looks like 6 guys going to B for MMI, the blue team, and I think it's going to be matched essentially by MTHR on the red side. It opens up.
But both teams overloading a flank each here, but it looks like MTHR winning the better of MMI's push. Villain with 2 key early game kills, and we're starting to see the tank getting very, very brave, pushing onto the Bravo flag. And as we know, does an awesome job no matter whether it's long range or close range. I'm never going to doubt his tanking ability again, as long as I cast, because he's just going to shove it back in my face. But yeah, awesome work by MTHR and good work by River Carvo on the flanks there, shutting down a cheeky push onto Charlie. But we're going to start to see Rilo here with the Panzerfaust gets a good shot into One of them glances, so not too good.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, just knows when to back off.
Yeah. He was definitely thinking about, you know, hanging around B flag with the cap, and then I think thought better of it and started to back off, you know, anticipating the push from MMI. Really had trust in his teammates there to make sure that, you know, every, you know, med box, ammo box, his behind and their front was all watched there, because he, you know, tanks on the B flag very vulnerable with the height advantage on, you know, Overwatch, med box, ammo box, etc. But ultimately,
100%.
he's fine.
But what we've seen here was a major overextension by MMI pushing into Bravo, trying to get rid of that tank, and it allowed Borgia to be a cheeky little sod, come around the side, plant himself on A, and at least get the decap and choke some tickets away from MMI as they've regained control of Bravo. Awesome play by Borgia. Roaming around like that and waiting for the opportunity to strike really has paid off, and Rivicardo I think is about to do the exact same thing. Don't know how he managed to sneak past Zatan and Fever here.
I think he fell off the map.
Did he?
Yeah, I think
I was just wondering where he was. I was following him across.
he really went for a ride there. One of the most beautiful ways to ever die here on Libya in the north of Africa.
Pojan taking an embarrassing engagement here, taken out by Villain.
Tank down.
And Villain's just beelining down to Alpha. Blue team have lost their tank now, and it's not looking good. They may be capturing Charlie, but they've lost Alpha. And yeah, he's just going to absolutely punish them on the Charlie flag now. I don't think pushing for Charlie was a good decision. I think maybe holding Alpha would have been a lot better.
Definitely, it's really tough to call sometimes in the middle of the game what flag makes sense, and you know, maybe midway through the journey, the tides of the team, the tides of the game will change. But I think what we're going to see here is essentially a CB hold for MTHR, but MMI are really doing well of essentially camping in corners, and that is a skill, believe it or not, in competitive to, you know, be unseen and unheard and stay alive for your teammates. But I think it's nevertheless going to go in favour of MMI on C and B flag. So again, we see this issue where I think is having a great game. I think he's not great, but he's took the tank down, and he was capturing B flag earlier. But there's just feels like he's playing on an island. Feels like he's not necessarily. Oh, okay. I see what's going on.
Yeah,
here.
Not on an island, not on his own though. As Pojan comes in with a dynamite, lands one, lands two. They both go off and in with the Panzerfaust for the kill. Pojan absolutely finishing off that clean sweep by Blue on the kill board, and I think we just saw what could have been a triple cap.
Almost.
By MMI, failed at the last minute, but Red aren't getting any tickets at the moment, and that's the key thing here. And MMI are going to start to pull ahead.
Exactly. Apart from, you know, maybe a few you know, trickle death kills that will come down on the tickets there, they didn't even have a flag because it was still being captured. So for that entire time, they were, you know, at the mercy of the ticket bleed there. Pushing off A flag now, but it's very hard to push B flag from A flag. SJTP4 with a 3-piece with the Tommy gun. Again, worth mentioning the recent buff and how strong that is. Team's really making use of that right now.
Exactly, and we start to see a two-sided push here from MTHR with Juan and Rudicavo pushing onto Charlie, getting the kills they need. They need one more. Rassi is going to be important to take out. P4 spawns, and with that Thompson, he's going to clean up the rest of the team. They just weren't quick enough on that Charlie flag, and Juan is all on his lonesome, because so there's one of him, and he's going to be going down fairly quickly. And with Alpha and Charlie now going to be under control by MMI, they're going to retain the lead, and it's just a case of holding now.
Definitely, you know, it's a skill to obviously get kills and, you know, do the highlight plays, but it's also a skill to know when to slow down, know when to hold your position, know when you're in the, you know, advantageous place in the map. Sometimes you just got to stand around and form the line, but that's not much of that has been going on in this match. That's for sure. See more gunfights going down, and MTHR again just back and forth. Really is back and forth here.
Pojan back in the tank here. Juan and are behind it, but they're not really going to do much. I think Pojan knows something's up as he turns to face armor. I think Poden's got a sixth sense for right now. He just knows where he is at all times, and he's just not giving him any quarter, backing up straight into the C flag to help out Rassi with the capture here. Rassi needs to put in some work. Unfortunately, can't get the kill, leaving Pogen in a really difficult position. Smokes are going down, it's allowing to push in. And it looks like they're going to recap that Charlie for the triple cap, and this could be their moment to really choke the life out of the game. MTHR pushing for the triple, and we've got some really important engagements on Alpha right now.
Exactly. This is the interesting thing about the triple caps, though, on this game, maybe compared to BF1, where the trip cap was basically the end of the game. Only 100 tickets, and it was I think every second or something very quickly along those lines. If you push too much on the trip cap, you can get essentially reverse trip capped, believe it or not. And I think we're starting to see something along those lines now, where you see MMI taking back A, taking back B with a tank on it, and actually that trip cap was so short-lived that it actually basically stretched their resources too thin to hold that line for very long.
Yeah, and you used to see it a lot in domination, where teams would go for the triple cap. Obviously, really stretches your players thin, and all you notice is that you get this huge, massive team wipe, and then all of a sudden you've got a whole team spawning on one flag or in the middle of two flags, and there's nothing you can really do about it unless you've got really good confidence that your players can take those 1v2s and come out alive.
Exactly, well said.
One thing I've noticed is hasn't decided to respawn in the tank yet. He's been playing a lot on foot, a lot on the infantry, ignoring the tank gameplay, and it's a 1v3 here, and he's holding up 3 of the MMI players here with the help push one.
I have to call out when someone's going off as well on both teams. Basically, one player on both teams is really leading the scoring wise. SJTP for MMI, and you see a Villain for MTHR. Both of them 16 kills and 14 kills respectively, leading the way for their teams.
Which is a massive contrast to the previous games. Obviously, Kirox, no need to mention him. He's slowly catching up on the leaderboard. Just not even going to mention it. But both teams, each round, have had a different guy that seems to really be excelling right now. And I think Pogen doing some really good work in the tank. Definitely this is his map. A lot stronger map where he's not having to directly face off against the air. And that's something we haven't seen a lot in this map so far. It's mainly been the infantry against the tank. We haven't seen a lot of tank on tank action.
Definitely, as you mentioned before, was playing a lot of infantry, a lot of Lewis gun, and now he's finally spawned back in the tank, and he's starting to pick up kills. Gets 1 on C. I think a lot of smoke went down there to try and cover his line of sight. As we said, he went off on Aras, but Hamada isn't Aras. It's definitely not. It's definitely more infantry, dominated despite the presence of the tank there. So a lot of players sometimes opt to basically ditch the tank and go play an assault, play in a support class, because they think that's going to be more crucial for their team.
Oh, 100%. And I think something else that's going really well for MTHR this game is the fact that MMI have ignored the B flag. They've ignored it the whole time, and what it's allowing them to fight on the Alpha and Charlie flag, and if they get the wipe, they capture the flag. If they don't, they haven't lost anything at this point. And if you look at the ticket difference, MTHR were behind at the beginning, and now MMI are just sort of really struggling right now.
Definitely, they're down by about double tickets here, with only the control of A flag. They are going to get a sort of, back C spawn here, with I think about 3 or 4 of them, but you never know. I think at this stage of the game, I'm sort of expecting MTHR to win some of the gunfights here, but this really is the time for MMI to step up, get some kills.
And there is still time to win this game. Wow. It's not over until the fat lady sings, and with Rowley just strolling into Bravo with no resistance, he's setting up a tea party, he's just enjoying himself, having a lovely day in the summer desert. And it's really going to turn that around, especially with MMI controlling Alpha and Charlie. MTHR gaining no tickets right now. It's going to be a massive push onto Alpha, and this could be MMI's way back into the game.
Exactly, as we just said, it was really time to show up, and they do. Again, like you said, Raleigh strolls into B, I don't like to be negative, but you've really got to ask questions of MTHR's line there to have literally no one on a flag you have is a little bit questionable, in my opinion, especially on a flag like B where there's entrances basically around the entire map. So there's an easy way of getting there. Yeah, he's getting a lot of pressure here from Rolly, and eventually will be Mamot as well. He's basically one shot here. He wants to resupply, but he can't. He's going to get two-pieced, I assume. Yeah, there he goes down. Huge plays from MMI now.
Great work. Something's triggered, something's clicked. Someone in the party chat has told those boys to get their fingers out their asses, and now they're really putting on the game that they should have been playing from the very beginning. It's very close. 10 tickets between the two teams. MMI holding the flag advantage. MTHR still holding the ticket advantage though. And both teams doing well on kills.
Oh, the dynamite! Oh, there it is. I was thinking Mamot was going to get essentially a 3 or 4 piece there. Maybe the biggest dynamite kills of the century, but I think he's going to take it down here, yeah. So MTHR, I think... Oh no, I think I spoke too soon there. It's going to be a big gunfight now, I think.
Yeah, it's really up to Pojan to hold the flag and Rolly. And Pojan's doing some good work. He knows when to push, he knows when to fall back. But when you're a 1v4, possibly even more coming up now, it's not going to look hot for you. And yeah, it's come around the corner. It's absolutely melted. But trades with Pojan quite nicely. Juan picking up the 1 kill left. And MTHR, I think, are going to start to retake control of this game. And I think we're going to see this one going down to the 5-10 tickets.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're looking at A flag now for MMI, because I think B flag's been basically completely retaken by MTHR here. So I'm thinking the only way here for MMI is a CA, formation here. But again, I think sometimes the kill feed is just a little bit too red. There's just too much to overcome in terms of flag presence for MMI on this map.
Exactly. They had the opportunity to hold, and I think they just got a bit overzealous. They tried to push for the triple cap when they didn't need it, and they should have just really solidified the defense on B. But yeah, really good play by both teams. MTHR taking the victory for that one. Almost 30 tickets, 32 tickets ahead. As we go into the next map. That was awesome. That was a really good fight, that. Definitely.
So, some huge slaying performances. 19 kills, 17 kills from the 3 players you just saw on your screen. MTHR take the 3-2 lead. One more map. So, in terms of maps, MMI can only draw. But again, BMF, mainly ticket-based. The tickets of the maps will be extremely important in the group standings. So let's just update that one. Bish bash bosh. So, going into the last map, Fiel. What a map it is.
Probably one of my least favourite maps of them all. Not gonna lie. My eyes are about to be singed out of my sockets as you look into the spectator cam. But I think this is going to be very well suited to MTHR's gunplay. They really like that linear style of gameplay. They know how to control it, they know how to beat it. And I think this is where we're going to see Thompsons galore as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah. As you say, I think you alluded to, is the visibility and brightness. Lack of contrast, let's say, on this map. So essentially that translates into gameplay with you find it very hard to to essentially locate players and kill them. So the pace slows down. The engagement range probably increases unless you're in these sort of tight engagement ranges, like directly on B, directly on A, directly on C, and maybe C village. Apart from that, there's a lot of transitional areas on this map where you'll be running and you might not even see your attacker. So be interesting to see if there's a lot of accidental multi-kills or something along those lines on this map.
100%, and everything's fairly close. And I know I bang on about the rotation, you're probably sick of me hearing about it, but this map is so close quarters, it's such a big circle, it's going to be hard for teams to try and set up a line and hold, especially with these very narrow killing points here.
Exactly, the strategy I think for both teams, well, I say for both teams, it looks like MTHR would have had an advantage on the overextension, but I think they're going 3 mid and will basically be trying to retake from behind instead of... Yeah, so they get the kills in mid, but the one MTHR player here is basically dead to rights until his teammates get here. Red Doctor and Kirox, yeah, he goes down. But they are pinching from behind.
And it really surprises me. That really does surprise me, because Red Doctor, Kirox, probably the biggest slayers on MTHR's team at the moment, and they weren't the first ones on the flag, but now they're challenging a 2-on-1. They're waiting for the players to spawn, and now's the opportunity to push in, retake that B, and they nearly had a cap on A, if I was paying attention quickly. Alright, that was very close. I think MMI is starting to lose a bit of structure going into the beginning of this game.
Definitely, if I'm honest, it's a little bit of a mess going on the map, because I think there was a lot of... An initial strategy may have been adopted and then cancelled, I think, halfway through. I think I saw players from MTHR heading to A, and then deciding, like you said, I think that explains the lateness of players like Kirox and Red Doctor. Eventually, they showed up on B flag. I'm not sure what happened at the start, but I think MMI is starting to slay out a little bit. They hold A and B for now.
Yeah, and I think MMI are taking the advantage at the moment here. They're really spreading their forces equally. They're getting the kills when they need to, but they're overextending in some key areas. It's allowing players like Borgia to slip through, get around the cracks, and I think they're going to start pushing towards the A flag, and it's going to really allow Albesta to just wait for his players to spawn on him and really contest that B flag and keep them off.
Ooh. These Thompson gunfights
Good play with the smoke.
are very fun to watch. A lot of trades going down. Oh, sneaky, sneaky. So this B flag is probably one of the most important places, I think, on any map to always have one guy stay alive. Because if you get wiped on this, then the spawns are very unforgiving. You've got to basically spawn ASC, and eventually you're going to walk into a choke point. So I think staying alive here for both teams was extremely important, but I think MTHR finally 100% secured the flag here.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think MMI are missing a really, really good opportunity here. They got Rassi held up in the middle of the map, holding that centre lane. No one's to challenge him. They were losing B. They had 3 or 4 guys down as they pushed towards Charlie. Why didn't they just all spawn on Rassi and push round and flank Bravo there? They missed a really, really good opportunity to stay in the game, and unfortunately it's cost them a 10-ticket lead.
Definitely well pointed out there. Sometimes the additional, the mental maths isn't coming through at times with how many players are allocated. I think maybe that's a call-out issue at times. Maybe players aren't calling out the number of, the enemies on a certain flag. If someone says 4 on B, 4 on A, you should be thinking, is Rasa there in mid? Well, that means there's no one on C and I should push it. But maybe there was a miscommunication there coming in.
Yeah, but it looks like we got MTHR setting up for a push on Alpha. They are getting held up here. Zatan is the only one defending. And again, this is one of their situations where these guys pushing Bravo have cleared mid. So we should start seeing a big push on Alpha now, and it should have happened already. But there really needs to be a lot of speed coming into these teams, and whoever the squad leaders are need to start sticking some boots up some arses and really getting into the flag quickly, putting that pressure on. I do apologise if you heard the sound of the really inconvenient motorcycle in the background there. But yeah, MTHR do manage to secure Bravo though, which I suppose is a good sign, but they have left their middle right open with SJTP4 coming in. Again,
So Ridacavo just made the play there. Is basically essentially gets a 2-piece on a random spawn, and as you said, this is the time where the team leaders are saying, guys, I'm on A, we should be pushing now. There's actually, I don't believe, no, there's no one on A. I didn't think there was, but for some reason, okay, there is now because they took so long. As you said, the delay there, I don't know what caused that. I don't understand the delay.
Now, I have a feeling what they're doing is they prefer the Charlie spawn. They're able to hold it down better, and I think they're just going for the trapping in A.
Right.
They're using the 2 or 3 players to just delay, annoy, drag people off of the other flags. But unfortunately, they're not following it through. They're not holding the mid, and as you can see, it's allowed MMI to push 3 players through, barely uncontested, with another 2 coming to reinforce. And they're going to lose that Charlie flag here. But a very good response though. They're pushing onto Alpha. They're going to hold that, and now they really need to get that synergy in holding that mid and getting that pendulum going through at the bottom of the map between Alpha and Charlie.
Exactly as you point out, essentially a trade was going on between each of those home flags. So MMI have MTHR's home flag and MTHR have MMI's home flag currently, but that means the third flag, B flag, MTHR's control right now, they're going to keep slowly bleeding MMI's tickets off, so they have the advantage here. Although, having said that, MMI are currently taking A, but they have got the pressure of about 4 MTHR players here. Pogan from behind.
Yeah, but all the while MTHR don't have the flag, they're not going to gain any tickets, and it's all because they didn't hold the mid. They've let the mid go, and from that, it's going to make it incredibly hard to hold your flag, especially when MMI seem to be the more aggressive 2 teams.
Yes, definitely, in my opinion, yeah.
Aggression isn't everything, because if it was, MMI wouldn't have a 40 ticket difference between themselves and what could possibly be the winners of this match.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely the position MTHR want to be in. 3-2 up in map count, and essentially nearing a double ticket lead here at about 112 to 65. They have got control of their home flag again and B flag. Although, I mean, Kirox, good luck, mate. Yeah, you're dead. There's 5 guys. there's 5 guys pushing B there. Maybe even 6. Am I counting properly? No, it's definitely 5. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And insane if he pulled that one off.
If he did, I would have been done. That's it. He would have just ended their whole careers right there.
Streams off,
like,
games cancelled.
That's it.
Everything we thought we knew
the
about.
The winning team would just be Kirox. That's it.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah. Just the best squad screen would just be one man there. But unfortunately for him, wasn't the case. MTHR again. I find it remarkable, actually. It'd been very fun to watch the amount of similarity there's been in both of these teams. When they get a few important kills in the early stages of a gunfight, they're able to snowball the gunfight so effectively. The team with the advantage almost always wins. I don't think I've seen many 1v2s, 2v3s at all go through.
No, 100%, and it looks like MMI winning the 3v3 here. It's now down to a 1v3. And it's our man Villain. Unfortunately goes down to the trade here, and it's just going to allow MMI to bounce back off of that and lock MTHR into Charlie. Like, this is it. This is going to be the knife to the throat, the foot to the balls. They got someone holding that mid, and if they can hold these rocks here, they might be with a chance of increasing that lead just a little bit more. They do lose mid.
Villain should not have won that gunfight, if anyone's wondering. That you should not be winning that gunfight, and he single-handedly wins it. And now, yeah, he does the smart play. He now knows he's through. He reads the play, and essentially now has formed a 2-on-1 on B flag. So incredibly important plays there from him.
And what this is going to do? Hopefully they capitalise on this. They've opened up the mid. MMI have to leave one player watching that Charlie cross, so now they're going to force 3-on-2 hopefully, but I don't know what they're doing. They're pushing Alpha. There's no real need to push Alpha. Bravo's the one that you want, and all they're doing is they're wasting time, and they're allowing MMI to gain the tickets back. I don't know what they're doing here.
Yeah, very slowly it's starting to swing again, as has happened all match so far. Between these 2 teams has been, give and take, push and pull, both ways. And again, I think essentially comes down to a 1v1 on B flag.
And it's going to come down to a triple cap here. Wow. If anyone's watching the flags, we're going to see red all over the place. Big, massive triple cap, bringing down that almost 50-point lead down to something a bit more manageable. But is it going to be enough? That's the question.
A lot to keep up with here. MTHR's home spawn is currently held by MMI, but it's only a 1v1, so if they, you know, decide to spawn on their home flag, they should be able to overwhelm on C. They have got control of B. They are starting to take control of A, so again, it's just swinging like a pendulum here, both ways. Okay, so A is controlled by MMI, as they should have control of it. Some normality is starting to be formed here on the map.
Yeah. Now, what I'm expecting is these two boys on Charlie to be getting shot in the back, be calling out that two guys have come up from Bravo, and I'm expecting those MMI players to now just rush towards the Bravo flag, because they now have the numbers advantage. There's one guy left on it, you've got the numbers, push on, get the flag, and reduce those tickets even more.
Exactly, like this, as you say, the time to push for MMI is now, well, it was a second ago on B, but no one was nearby B flag reinforcements. You can tell they should have, because MTHR spawned on their man there. They anticipated a push, and they're probably a little bit confused as to why there wasn't one. I guess the play here is to try and capture C, but it isn't going down as they may have hoped so far. Fever, 2-piece. That was big. He now has control of mid, essentially. He needs reinforcements there, and he's going to probably mount an attack on B here, but Red Doctor's holding down that line of sight.
Yeah, and hopefully these guys who got P4, they're all spawning trying to retake the Charlie flag, but you only need 2 or 3 guys to just be a nuisance, and they should have spawned them. They should have spawned in the mid there.
I agree.
They should have pushed for Bravo, and it's, although they're knocking down tickets, it could have been done so much more efficiently if they would have gone for the Bravo flag instead. But they might still be in a chance to win this. They're knocking down tickets rapidly. We're now down to a 4-point difference between the two teams. Anything can go right now.
As you say, it's remarkably close. I think any caster in the wildest dreams hopes for a game as close as this one, and it is coming down to, you know, round 6, game 6, and there is a lot of things going around on the map. A and C currently being held by MMI. They have tied the game up now. Even Stevens now in the last stages of this match.
And MTHR don't know what flag to push. They've split themselves, but in reality, leave 2 people in mid Bravo, everyone else to Charlie. Free up your home spawn. Come on, guys, like, get it together. It's 4 tickets in this game, and it's decisions like that that are going to make and break the team and important gunplay. Kirox is doing some good work. There are 3 people holding the mid now against 1 person in the Charlie flag, and they need to start reacting quickly.
Definitely. This is where discipline comes into play as well, because at this stage you're thinking about the life ticket bleed as well, because it's so low on tickets, both teams. Some players are skipping, some players are holding, as you probably would prefer at this stage. It's that close that these kills really do matter. MTHR seem to be getting 3-piece, and then it's matched again with another 3-piece from MMI. Incredibly close here. But MTHR have definitely took their home flag back, I think, for the time being at least. It's still a 2v2 essentially though.
And now all they need to do is stay away from big engagements, fall back to the flags, let them bash onto you, get the kills. It's now 7-8. This is going into the single digits for the games, guys. And MMI, I think, have choked towards the end here. They were absolutely dominating, and now the lead has been reduced to almost nothing. But literally almost nothing here.
But they get 4 kills, and they're on C right now. They have AC for the rest of the game. This is going to be an absolute nail-biter.
Please don't take this to like a 1-0. Please don't take this to a 1-0.
Holding spawns in mid there to try and hold the ticket. He gets the revive, so that won't come through. It's 4-4 right now. ANC held by MMI. I don't think there's much pressure on either flag. The 2 kills come through to MTHR in their home spawn. I think MMI have just clutched this game up and tied the series up overall.
Absolutely brilliant.
Wow.
Last minute clutch. I thought it was over, I'm not going to lie. I thought they choked, but they just pulled it out the bag with that last second push. Awesome from both teams. Really enjoyed watching these guys play tonight.
Me too. Really crazy games back and forth. So in map count 3-3, insane stuff there from these guys. I just have to that's just a crazy game, and I think that will be it for today, everyone. So thank you very much for watching from Tribe Jimmy here and A Wild Time. We thank you for joining us. Essentially, hope you've enjoyed your stay this evening, and we'll see you in the next one.